It's Walkers Worldwide. I'm Zion.
And I'm Jeff.
And I'm Kay.
And today we're going to be talking to you about our journey to South Korea. Where did we start? Actually, we didn't get any sleep the night before. It was crazy. We had to we had, we had zero sleep. We had to hurry up and pack all our things. And by the time we finished, we threw it in two cars because we couldn't fit all in just one car. Said our goodbyes to my mom and my sisters. It was a really emotional moment. You know, it was heartbreaking because you just never know when the last time you're going to see somebody. But we finally managed to say our goodbyes and got in the car. And thankfully, we only had to drive a short trip to the Colorado Springs airport instead of making that long trek at 4 in the morning to the Colorado Springs airport.
719?
Yeah, no Denver this time, thank goodness.
No 303? 720?
So we get to the airport. I swear, besides the people that work there, we might have been the only family there at that time. And I don't know if you guys ever did an international flight, but you have to be there super early for your flights to check in. And so Kay's going to talk a little bit about that whole process.
So we get there. Ladies, nice. Shout out to Delta. Thank you. We get there. She says, hey, I need to see your passports. I need to see your IDs. So we give her the passports. We give her the IDs. And she's like, you do know that they may not let you in Korea. And I said, well, why not? And she said, because they have that choice. They may not let you into Korea. So then I give her our visas, because we had to have visas so that we can work in Korea, and Zion's going to go to school. We give that to her, and I feel like this process took like, what, an hour? Hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yeah, it was long.
We were just standing there. At this time, people are starting to come in for their regular flights, and they only have 2 people working at Delta. Still, big shout out to Delta, because in the end, they did us well. So they say, you know, we'll let you pass with some of the bags being 52 pounds. But this one over here, this big one, you have to pay for it. So y'all know that was my suitcase. And I think it was, 65 pounds?
Yeah,
70 pounds?
Yeah, it was
somewhere
pushing
around
70.
Pushing 70. So, you know, I had to pay a stack in order for them to take it,
Not
to take
a stack,
it.
100.
You're right, okay. Yeah, I know I'm extra. Yeah, I paid $100. And the guy picked it up, almost broke his back trying to put it on the thing. And I was like, I'm not paying for your injuries. No medical. So finally, you know, we get through the gates. We're sitting in the back. We're waiting to load the plane. And, you know, it's time to load. But we are not in a rush. So we wait. They hit our seat section. We get on the plane. On the plane. And we're probably the last maybe 10 people that get on the plane. Maybe the last 10. Now I'm pushing and jiving, you know. I'm a big girl. I'm trying to get through these skinny aisles to get to the back. Soon as we get to the back, Jeff is getting ready to put one of the bags in the overhead. And we hear the... Somebody gets on the intercom talking about we need a piece for the plane. So everybody's going to have to deplane.
And it's from Denver.
Yes, the piece has to come from Denver. So we're going to have everybody deplane. We hadn't even sat in our seats yet. And all we did was just turn around and stand so that everybody in front of us could get off the plane. Finally, we get off the plane and they're like, hey, now y'all got to stand in another line. So, or matter of fact, yeah, stand in another line to figure out, you know, what flights, because we're going to be delayed for our connecting flights and things like that. So stand in another line to get details on what's next.
Yeah, so Delta, they were real accommodating. They were trying to get everybody on the soonest flight out to their next destination. So, like Kay said, there was a long line and people were, you know, had to wait. Some people still had to wait for this part to get to the plane, and other people were catching other flights to get to their destination. So finally, after waiting about 20 minutes, I finally get to the desk. And for some reason, in the back of my head, I was like, man, this is going to be bad news. I can feel it already. And the first thing she does after she looks up our flight information, she was like, I'm sorry, but you're going to miss your connecting flight.
No.
So I was like, what? We're not going to be able to make it? She's like, nope, I don't think so. I was like, well, maybe we could do something else, get us there on the later flight. Jumps on her computer.
What did she do? Okay.
And she tells me, I'm sorry, but I have more bad news. There are no more flights going to Korea that day. So I'm over here, the emoji with all the expression, cursing under my breath type stuff. I was like, oh man, what are we going to do? She was like, well, there's a couple options we could do. Let me see.
What did she do? Okay.
She was like, first option, you guys can, pack all your luggage back up and try it again. Actually, she was like, let me see if there's something for tomorrow. She looks in her computer. She's like,
What'd she do?
She's like, I'm sorry, there's no flights to Korea tomorrow. They're only flying once a day, and that flight's already booked, so you can't fly out tomorrow. I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on here? She's like, the soonest we could put you on is in 2 days. And I was like, oh man, I don't know if that's gonna work. I was like, I gotta call my people over there in Korea, see if I still got a job, because they might be like, hey man, we feel like you BSing us. We just gonna go ahead and terminate this contract, So I was like, oh, let me see. I was like, hold that thought. I called my boss. I tell him the, explanation, and he was pretty cool about it. He's like, man, I understand this virus thing is messing up everything. He said, we're still waiting for you guys. I hope you guys still want to come. And he just reassured us, that, whatever you guys decide to do, we're behind you 100%. I was like, cool. So I was like, I go back to the lady. She's like, we could do 2 things. Either you could take all your stuff home and come back, fly first thing 4 a.m. in the morning out of Colorado Springs, or we could put you in Atlanta for a layover for 2 days. And in the back of my mind, you guys that know me know I'm from Atlanta. So I was inside of my head, I was over here doing backflips and trying not to, give you my $1 million smile.
What does it look like?
Yeah,
That's right there.
Yeah. So, I tried to play, gave him that poker player face. And I was like, what should we do? I was like, you know what? We'll go ahead and do the layover in Atlanta. So she was like, well, because you want to do that, Delta is going to take care of you. They're going to pay for your hotel for 2 days. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide you guys with vouchers so you guys could get something to eat. So they gave us vouchers for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the 3 days. 2 days while we were in Atlanta. So it really worked out. It was a blessing in disguise. We still ended up flying to Atlanta that day. And then we got to hang out in Atlanta for 2 days, which was awesome because half of my family's from there. We got to see some cool things, have some good food, have Popeyes one more time before we left. We had to get Popeyes,
I ain't even gonna lie. When they gave us some vouchers, you had to use them on certain days. So we were hungry, so we went, ordered all the food in IHOP. Omelets, juices, Pepsis, everything to use up these vouchers. We had just finished eating, and our fat butts was like, Popeyes is right over there. We went to Popeyes. We ordered like 4 meals at Popeyes. Took that back to the hotel. But the one thing I have to say, shout out again to Delta, because when we got there, there was some confusions with our bags. We had to wait a whole nother,
Wow.
Another couple hours in Atlanta's airport because of some issues with the bags. Was it the bag? It was something going on, but we had to wait for a while. So they had us walk from this end of the console to another concourse to another concourse. And finally I was like, I'm not going anywhere because we had like 7 or so bags and there was something going on, but we couldn't leave the airport.
Yeah, wait till y'all see the picture of our bags. It was stacked higher than Zion. It was crazy.
Right here.
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, so we finally, we get to leave the airport. Dude picks us up, takes us to our hotel. We get to the hotel, and the guy at the hotel tells us that, oh, you guys only have pretty much 1 day here that's paid for from Delta. If you need another day, you're gonna have to go and get a different voucher.
Yeah, so I guess they've been having some issues with people taking advantage of the vouchers. So they had gave us two vouchers for the same day instead of a voucher for each day. So I was like, all right, no biggie. You know, after everything was said and done, I was kind of upset that I would have to go to the airport the next day because the guy at the counter was like, I don't know if we'll even be able to save your room or if you'll even be in the same hotel the next day. He's like, the best thing to do is just get up early in the morning and, just try to get back before checkout time at 11 o'clock and we'll see what we could do.
Jeff was cool. Y'all know me. I was cool to a point, but I had to ask some questions. Because I was like, so what you trying to say? And he said, well, ma'am, I was like, so what I hear you saying? And well, ma'am, okay, let me make sure I understand what you're saying because I couldn't understand why we wouldn't have our same room. So I needed to make sure that he understood that I was not understanding what he was saying because I was not about to pack up all them bags to change a room. It wasn't going to happen. It wasn't. But Jeff was nice. Jeff got up the next day, had to go take a shuttle back to the airport, and then they gave you the voucher, right? Mm-hmm. About an hour later, you came back. So that's another hour out of our time. But again, shout out to Delta. Y'all did the thing. And the girl at the airport, I ain't gonna say her name, but she hooked us up with some more vouchers. It was a girl at the airport. We appreciate you.
She asked us for help before we needed it.
Oh, yes. Give her the customer service points. Yes. Thank you, girl at the airport in Atlanta, hooking us up with more vouchers. We had so many vouchers, we left, vouchers there, didn't we?
Yeah, we didn't even use them all. So.
No, we left them. And we ate good. I was doing the little room service delivery thing, and, they were bringing all types of stuff. I think I ordered chicken wings. I ordered, what did you have?
We had subs. I had some Indian food. I don't even remember what it was. All I know is we was eating good. And the cool thing was we could use the vouchers for that stuff too. So, I mean, food-wise, we were barely spending any money. So, after that, once we got to the hotel, settled in, we wanted to go check on my grandma. She had just recently fell and ended up breaking her hip. So she was in a rehab center, until she was able to walk again and everything. So my dad came up and picked us all up and we went over there. And by the time they got there, they had just changed their whole policy because of this coronavirus. It seems like that thing is just messing up everybody's lives right now. And we didn't really know what kind of impact that would have on us.
But we appreciate the healthcare workers. We appreciate everybody that took the precautions they wouldn't allow children to come into the facility, and that was to protect the kids and to make sure that the kids wasn't passing the virus to the elderly. So we appreciate that. I mean, it was an inconvenience because Zion really wanted to see his grandma, but we had to make sure that everybody was safe. Because I ain't even gonna lie, I heard one elderly cough in there, and I doggone lost my marbles. I was ready to shut everybody out. And I see why they didn't really want nobody in there. So shout out to Grandma Molly. She's at home now, healthy, well. We love you. I don't think she'll see this, but if for some reason she does, this is love from Korea, from all of us, and we're glad that you're doing better.
Yeah, we love you, Grandma. And, I mean, it got heated for a second because, we didn't know if we were going to have another opportunity to go see my grandma. And, with her getting up in age, you just never know, when people are going to pass away. So, thankfully, the next day we got up bright and early and we were able to go see them. But, again, another policy change when we got there. No kids were allowed to come in there and see the people just because now, they were saying that the kids were spreading coronavirus to the elderly and stuff like that. So Zion, he was pretty sad, and all three of us couldn't go see my grandma at the same time. So I went up there, got to see grandma for the first time, and who knows, man, it's been years. So it was just really cool, and I cherish that just until the next time I see her. So it was definitely a blessing. And then Kay finally came up without Zion, so I was like, man, what's going on? And she was like, oh, you're
Our child always just be leaving in
Yeah.
the middle like y'all unimportant. Like something he got going on in his room is more important than y'all. Y'all remember that when y'all be talking about, oh, how cute our little man child is. He's rude. Rude. What you doing? See, he ain't even answering. He just gone. We'll carry on.
Yeah, so you know, we didn't get blah blah blah. Sorry about that. We didn't get to see my grandma for that long before she had her little rehab to go to, her physical therapy. But right before she left, you know, my dad was able to talk to the nurses and the staff in there to wheel my grandma to the hallway and bring Zion to the other end of the hallway so he could at least get a glimpse of my grandma.
So you got to see her. So what I'll do is let me take it back. Our baby can be rude. He can be rude, but when he talks about his grandma, he does get sad. So he actually is in his room laying on his bed. I can see his little head. So he gets sad about it. So we're going to carry on. We're going to keep going. He'll come back out when he's ready, but we'll let him have his time. He was very upset even when we were there. But again, we understand why they have those procedures, policies, in writing. It was on the door. It wasn't like they just was, you know, out for us. You know, it was a new policy that had just went in effect, like I feel like the day before. So, you know, we definitely understand why they have it. So, like I said, he will be back out when he is ready. Hopefully he will be able to do some of the video with us. But, you know, me not being from Atlanta, it was still nice for me to be able to go. The people are so sweet down there. Shout out to the people in Atlanta. Y'all are some nice folks. There's some really nice people. People speak to you. No offense to the people in Colorado, but people in Atlanta really will stop and say hello to you. They just friendly. And I heard that's because I didn't go to the 6, because I didn't go to Zone 6. So I don't know nothing about that. So, but for the people we saw by the airport, y'all are some sweet people in Georgia.
Yeah, so I mean, after we left there, we had to go get our Korean won, you know. So we went to the other side of town, picked up that bread, you know. It was crazy. You know, we ended up picking a lot.
And we spent it in like 1 month. But go ahead.
So it was pretty cool, man. We got to show you some of this money when we get a chance. But it looks like Monopoly money. I mean, they got, you know, blue bills, green bills, pink bills, yellow bills. It's crazy. So I definitely felt like a baller when we turned in all that money and got it back.
We talk about money and look who comes back.
Yeah, look. So here we go.
Put up some. This is Zion's personal money, so
this is the big bill right here. Boom. Then we got the 10,000. Bam.
Turn it upside the other way so you can see it. There we go.
Ooh. Then we got the 1,000 right there. And then we're missing the pink one. That's the 5,000. So there's a chance for you guys to check out the money.
Like somebody wanted.
We're taking this money like we might take it or
somebody was trying to take them. But let me hold some though. Let me hold a little something.
Oh, when you gonna buy us something? Huh?
Yeah, you can buy us something around here.
Dinner on you next time?
Yeah.
If you're gonna say it's on me, no dinner.
No dinner. We don't get to eat if Zion got to pay for it.
Ain't that the truth? Anyways, we kind of got off track a little bit. So after we got the money, what did we end up doing?
What did we do? We rode. I don't know what we did.
We met up with some of our friends. Shout out to Larry. Larry came through and picked me up. Got to hang out at the hookah lounge and really just hang out and talk to him. We talked about all kinds of things in life and how other people are set up, other cultures are set up for success. He was telling me in some other cultures that, you know, the whole family works together. Like the whole family will pay for the house instead of just the parents will pay for the house. Or the whole family will pay for the car except just the person that's driving it. So they accumulate wealth and accumulate assets at a quicker pace. It was really crazy to learn about, but it's hopefully something that, you know, maybe we could put into practice later on down the road. So then my cousin came through. Shout out to Beezy. You know, I hadn't seen him in a while either. So
you just saw him a few months ago. Y'all act like y'all need to see each other every other day.
She's right.
Key, we don't need to see you all the time. Even though I love you, Jeff act like he ain't seen you in like a few years. It was like 3 months.
True, but in between that time, he did suffer a health setback. So It was definitely just to see him bounce back the way he did. So
We love you too. We do love you.
stay strong, man. Keep fighting.
Yes.
So I mean, overall, it was just a good day. We got to hang out in Atlanta, and that's really all we did was we hung out with friends and family. I wanted to check out the Hawks game, but nobody wanted to go see the Hawks game because it was the Hawks, and I was like, man, y'all some haters.
Y'all see anything wrong with not wanting to go see the Hawks?
But I feel like it was more because they were playing Charlotte than it was actually Atlanta, So, and that was like one of the few games right before they shut down the whole league too. So, in retrospect, 2020, man, I wish I would have caught one of Vince Carter's last games. I think that'd have been dope just to see him one more time. But it is what it is.
Pretty much. Georgia was good to us. We're very glad that we got the opportunity. Cherish your family. As you guys know right now, a lot of people dealing with this virus. You're spending a lot of times with your loved ones. Appreciate it. It's crazy right now in the world. It's really crazy. It just seems like last days type stuff, So love, hug, appreciate. Don't be afraid to tell your family you love them, hug them, and all that stuff. And I'm glad that Jeff was able to go and to do that. And that the fact is, we didn't even have to pay for nothing. It was just a pure blessing. A trip there, a hotel stay, food taken care of, shuttles taken care of. I mean, overall, we can go on and on about all the different things we did, but it was just a blessing, and we appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts to be able to have something like that. We end up having to leave Atlanta to go ahead and take. Yeah, he cried. No, we had to leave Atlanta so that we can go ahead and head on to our next location, which is Korea. I'm going to hopefully post the video of the safety video that was on Korean Air. I know I'm jumping ahead, but that Korean safety video, I've never seen anything like it. It's usually just something of like, take care of yourself before you take care of the next person. These are the exits. There's 2 in the back, 2 in the front, like this. No, not Korean. Korean had a whole dance video. When I tell you, like, there was like 7, I think it was what they call BTS or BTS. Look them up. They gave a performance on the safety video. Like, it was like, recline up your chairs, look forward, and then all of a sudden they were like, but I'm gonna show it to y'all. Y'all are gonna see this. Nothing like it.
But at the end of the video.
We'll try to post it at the end of this video. I'm gonna see if we can try to figure it out. If not, we'll get it somewhere, Facebook, Instagram, something. Y'all will see this video. It's low volume because I was recording when I should have been paying attention to what I need to do just in case we would have fell out there. But no, I was just amazed. We get to the airport, and Jeff told me that the brother that was driving us may have been taking us the wrong spot because I don't think he really knew when we told him we were taking an international flight. He just dropped us off. So where he dropped us off at was nowhere near where we were supposed to go. So we get dropped off with all these bags, and we load all these bags up to one of the carts for the guy to tell us, nah, y'all can't sit here. Like, we could not, check in where we were. So we had to walk into the airport, walk all the way down, exit the airport to go to another space to wait for a shuttle to take us somewhere else. So mind you, bags off the shuttle, go through the airport, bags back on the shuttle, to get off the shuttle, to take the bags on another cart to check in at the international. It was a pain in the booty, but we had to do it. So all these bags, we get there, and then they tell us when we get to the gate, oh, we don't have boarding passes for you. Did they not print out boarding passes for you? I said, no, we were told to come check in here. They said, oh, Korean Air, nope, you need to go to Delta. We go to Delta. Delta's like, no, you're supposed to be with Korean Air. At this point, I'm like, I'm not going back and forth. Somebody's going to print these boarding tickets. It called for them to call somebody, and I think we waited, another hour,
Yeah.
hour and 45 minutes, somewhere in between there, for them just to print out boarding ticket. We were there so long that once we finally got the boarding ticket, we had to go to our gates with all these, not all the bags, but they finally took some of the bags, but we still had to carry these other bags, get to the gate, and we only had a little bit of time.
I mean, we had a little bit of time because we managed to have Chick-fil-A one more time at the airport
We had
before
to.
we took off. So.
And I grabbed some Starbucks. Where I think the BTS people were in the airport in Atlanta because there were, that's what somebody had told me at the Starbucks, that they were actually standing next to me. So if that is true, I did not recognize, but I know that they were in the Starbucks and there were girls in the airport going crazy. They were all jumping on the table, all under the table. All I was trying to get was some banana nut bread and some lemon pound cake to take with me to Korea. And these girls were going crazy. Security was all over the place. Bananas. But we did get Chick-fil-A one more again. One more again. Welcome back. One more again.
And it actually was BTS because that's how they sounded, because we were downstairs from the Starbucks.
Yeah, so I guess BTS, which is a big, big, big group, was in the airport with us in Atlanta International. So pretty much we got on the plane, Korean Air, and we get on the plane, and I don't know if this is just typical, but nobody told us anything once we got on the plane. We just sat in our seats and sat there. Nobody got on the intercom to say there's a delay. No one got on to say, we just doing this or doing that. They just proceeded on, just like, hey, you're here. We're going to play the safety video. But we sat another hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes after our departure time in Atlanta, just on the plane. And nobody seemed concerned. So I just don't know if that's how they normally do it. But Korean Air did not say nothing to us. So we just hung out. I think Jeff took a nap. I think Zion took a nap. You know me, I gotta see what's going on. So I was up, waiting, looking. And we finally took off. Now, Korean Air, I will post some pictures of the food. They feed you on Korean Air. I mean, they give you lunch and a snack. Dinner and a snack, wine, alcohol, juice, everything. I think they came by at least 5 or 6 times with either something to drink or something to eat. They gave us slippers, which were really nice, slippers and a toothbrush and new headphones and I think it was there were some pillows and
there was like a blanket that was for the doctor's office kind of blanket.
Okay, a doctor's office kind of blanket. So I mean, they did treat us well.
And good thing, because that's like a 16-hour flight, and
16.
And you could really tell because it was just super long. I swear I watched like 4 movies on there. And shout out to Korean Air because they had some nice newly released videos on there, and everybody had their little personal screen that seemed to be bigger than the ones you have on normal flights, which was pretty cool. Didn't have to pay for the upgrade to see anything on there.
Do you know that one original, they said like one of the original movies was Rush Hour. So they had Rush Hour on there. I just thought that was funny that they considered that to be an original, was it original comedy?
I think they were saying like it's Blockbusters or something.
Yeah, Blockbusters. Like they were acting as if it was brand new.
Yeah.
But it was like Rush Hour 1 through 3, and yep, I watched them. I watched all 3 of them. I did.
Yeah, I tried to watch Terminator once. I fell asleep, so I was kind of disappointed. But I ended up watching that later on in the flight. That's how much time I had. I watched about 4 movies. Like I said, took about 2 naps. And then we still had about 2 hours or so on the flight. It was crazy. And because of this delay, when we got off the flight, we still had to catch one more flight to go to our final destination. And when we were landing, the lady was already telling us, hey, you're going to miss your flight. So they had already told us that. So we're over here being casually, moving slow, getting off the flight, no rush, because we're like, man, what are we gonna do until tomorrow? We thought we were gonna have to sleep in the airport.
And I did not want to sleep in the airport in Seoul. Y'all know with that row going on in Seoul. Seoul had high numbers, and I did not want to do it for me, for my family, nothing. But when we got off the plane and was just leisurely moving about, this man came to us and was like, yes, where you going? And we said, Busan, but we're going to miss the flight, so we need to, get another flight. He was like, no, they're waiting. The flight waited for us. So shout out to Busan people. Like,
not just us though. There was about 10 or 12 people on our flight that was.
They were waiting for the suitcases.
Yeah, they waited for our suitcases. I mean, I'm just happy because when I say I was nervous, I was skirt. I was so scared because I did not want to be in that airport. And this is the first time I've ever seen an airport with nobody really in it.
Yeah, she's right. Like, there was nobody in there. And it's kind of crazy, though, because we were running through that bad boy, like literally running through there, speed walking. Well, Kay was speed walking, and every now and again we had to look back and be like, hey, Kay, come on, we're going to miss our flight.
Y'all know I got one lung. I cannot be running.
We had 25 minutes to get through the airport.
And we was on the other side of the airport.
I was riding the suitcase across.
Yeah, so, pretty much, long story short, we made it. We got on the plane, and it was a smaller plane. So, again, here go the flags for Kay again. I'm nervous, like, the seats were so tiny. They had us in there like some sardines, but we got there. It was beautiful flying into Busan, which is the next largest city to where we live. We got to Busan. Our boss personally picked us up, and we thank you. We just gonna call you Mr. J. Picked us up, and I think he was so shocked when he saw all our luggage, but he came prepared. He brought a school bus.
A minivan.
Like a minivan school bus. It was bright yellow with, I think it played Mozart. When it goes in reverse, it plays Mozart. And he picked us up and loaded up our stuff and then drove us. He said, are you hungry? And we were, but because it was about time we got back, midnight or...
Yeah, because we had to drive another, hour and a half?
Hour and
15
a half,
minutes?
yeah, to get to our city.
So we finally got there, and the only thing open was McDonald's. He was like, what? McDonald's in Korea?
I knew that. McDonald's is everywhere. It's even in China.
We don't really even eat McDonald's that much, but hey, some American food at this time, why not? So, but even when we went there, the menu was different. They had all kinds of stuff in there, and he was telling us like, hey, the way they do things is a little bit different. You just got to eat it the way that it's pictured, and you can't be like, hey, hold the onions, add extra pickles, crazy stuff like that. We're like, hey, man, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. We just deal with it, we'll worry about it tomorrow. But we finally did get something to eat, and he brought us to our little flat. That's what they call these apartments. They call them flats. So if you hear us referring to some of that, that's that Korean lingo that we're starting to pick up around here.
Yeah.
Next video is house tour.
Yeah, we're definitely going to bring that to you. So that really was our journey to Korea. It was long, and we're glad we finally made it safely and through all the obstacles and hurdles we had to get to, and it's definitely been worth our while so far. Don't you guys think?
Yeah, it's been nice. We're gonna post another video, which will give you guys a little view of our flat. We'll probably post that one sooner because we want to get everybody up to date with what we've been doing. So you'll get another video probably here shortly, and it'll be a tour probably tomorrow, maybe tomorrow or the day after, of our flat, and then we should be up to date in what we're doing in Korea, and we'll keep posting videos. And please comment below. That's how we stay in contact with you guys. We're not afraid of questions. We want questions. I know we didn't get any on our first video, but we did get some comments, so thank you for those comments. Zion will respond to those the comments.
And I didn't check the comments either, but Did y'all say he was picking his nose, or
Did y'all see that?
did y'all see that in the first video?
I wasn't.
Yeah, so I mean, I think he got, I think he got one. So other than that, we'll keep doing these. We happy to be in communication with you guys through these. Let us know if there's something you're interested in that you want us to post about. We have a few ideas of what we're gonna do in the coming weeks, and that's.
Some
What?
challenges.
I don't know. This boy wants to do challenge. I think he really feel like we don't got no full-time jobs and we can just be challenging and doing tricks and all that stuff. I got to go to work,
Right.
sir.
And I want to sleep in my free time.
Sleep. Yes, he wants us to do tricks and stuff.
They don't want to make YouTube videos for you guys.
Oh, he gonna throw us under the bus. All right.
But
Well-
check this out, though. We're getting ready to get up out of here. But as long as you guys keep saying you want to see these videos, we'll keep making these Walker Worldwide videos. So until next time, we out of here.
See you guys, Walkers Worldwide.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Deuces.